Welcome to Powercoat Music. I'm Civil Allen. I was a music theory coward for a long time. I was afraid of it. It scared me. From the time I was a kid, I always wanted to be a professional artist and musician. And so when I got to high school, I took every music class I could get my hands on and I failed them. I got Fs. So I had to retake them and I barely was able to squeeze by with D minuses. So when you look at the internet and all the people who talk about music theory and you think, why in the world would I look at this guy's channel and talk about music theory with him, is because I am one of the most relatable people when it comes to difficulties and ignorance when it comes to musical theory that you're going to find. So if I can break through and open up and learn it, you can too. There's no way that you are not going to be able to do it. If I was able to do it. I was a music theory coward. I was an MTC with feet. You are looking at it. So let's move on. Now, many years ago, I decided to try and fix this by reading a couple books on music theory so I could up my game and learn more and enhance my life. I read these two books. I'm going to put the books up on the screen now. And I read one of the books twice. And I didn't know any more about music theory after I read these books than I did before. That was a major problem for me. So I started to get really worried. When I was younger, there was no YouTube or Instagram or anything like that for learning music theory or other resources other than just books or trying to get tutors and talk to people. So I figured, now later in life, I have all these opportunities and resources. Let me scour around on YouTube to see what in the world I could find, to see if someone could explain this to me in a way that I understood. Because I always learned by doing, with hands-on. Now, the problem and the trick and the deceit with music in this regard is you can learn with music hands-on all day long and still not understand how music works at all. Many people do this and many people have become famous and made millions and millions of dollars off of it. So I didn't want to be one of those people. I wanted to learn more. After scouring around on the internet, I found two people who were able to explain music theory to me in a way that opened the door and made sense for the first time in my entire life. And I'm going to name them for you. The first one was Pebber Brown. Pebber Brown did a video that absolutely blew my mind and opened my eyes so that I could understand music theory. The second person was Sean Daniel. Now, Sean Daniel then took some of the things that Pebber said along with a few other good topics and explained them in ways that I could understand that no one else had ever explained them or put them into sense that I could understand before. That was huge. From then on, I got it. The light bulb went off in my head. I understood simple music theory and I was able to move on. I was no longer afraid. So what I'm going to do for these two videos that helped me to understand music theory and come through the door, across the threshold, I'm going to put links to these videos in the video description for this video. So please check them out. I am not a music theory teacher and I don't want to rehash the things that they already did. So let's look at some of the pros when it comes to why you would want to learn music theory and why it would be good for you. Well, number one is it helped me to understand how my songs were constructed. I went back at my songs. I was able to look at my songs in a brand new light, which was mind-blowing for me. So I then understood what I did. Huge. Another thing was I was able to understand how to better write songs and melodies, which I made things easier for me. So in songwriting on the internet, if you don't add something about basic music theory, then you're missing out on something, because it opens up new ways in which you can take, in new directions, I would say, in which you can take your music, which is huge. Helps you write better songs. And number three is it also helps you to understand how you can change or transpose your music without screwing it up or making it sound weird. It also helps you to be able to share your music with others, and it also helps others to be able to share their music with you and also transpose it over into other instruments, which is massive. It's huge, especially when you're playing with other people. So lastly, it also makes soloing much easier. When you figure out which key you're in, then you have a lot of options and tools that you can invoke to be able to solo all over the place. I was watching an old video with Jimi Hendrix, and he was on the Dick Cavett show. And Dick Cavett asked Jimi Hendrix a question. He said, "Jimmy, you're one of the best guitarists in the world." Or I think Dick Cavett said something like, "You're the best guitarist in the world. Do you read music?" And Jimi Hendrix looked down and he said, No, I don't do anything like that. No, I don't do anything. I don't know anything like that." And I thought to myself, wow, if Jimi Hendrix knew music theory with all of his natural talent and ability, how much better would he have been? Since learning music theory, it has enhanced my relationship with music in every way. I understand it differently. I can completely write my music and understand what my music is doing in ways that I couldn't even imagine before. So I am no longer afraid, and I no longer consider myself to be an MTC, a music theory coward, and I am hungry and dying to learn more all the time. So if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get as many people on board as possible. We're coming out with new videos every week. And lastly, thank you for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you soon.